Good morning and welcome to AM Excellence 55. It is 5:31 on Wednesday, October, I believe 12th. Today's video is called AM Excellence 55, Adapt and Evolve. And I actually just finished the book Relentless, From Good to Great to Unstoppable today. And you know, this book in general, what I'm taking from it, the way I judge books, whether it's a value or not, is what I take from it, and if I can implement something into my life that I can implement into my life to be better moving forward. And this book, Relentless, From Good to Great to Unstoppable, talks a lot about, the whole book is focused on the best of the best competing at the highest levels of sports and how you can adapt that to life and business. And there's so many things that I can take from the book. Probably the most valuable thing that I can take is the idea that you should trust your gut, but you're not born with that right. You earn that right. You earn your right to trust your gut. And to me, that's probably the thing that sticks out above everything. You have that gut, you got to trust that gut, but you have to earn the right to trust it by putting in the work and work and work and work and work to get to that point. And, I went through this chapter today and I highlighted a bunch of things, and then going through it, I realized the highlights weren't even there. So I went back through and read and re-highlighted. So the first thing I want to talk about, so the chapter, the title of this video is called Adapt and Evolve, and I'll get to the meaning of that here in a minute. But the first thing I want to talk about is this idea of trying. Trying is a safe word. I'll try to do better. I'll try to do that. Hey, I'll try to call you. Hey, I'll try to work out. Hey, that's a safe word. And I say safe because it's not a commitment. And he says trying is an open invitation to failure. Just another way of saying, if I fail, it's not my fault. I tried. He goes on to say, you tried your best, or did you do your best? Huge difference. Are you trying or are you doing? I wrote a blog post a while ago that it was called I don't try, I just be. I just be, I just do, meaning remember that word try is a safe word. Try to eliminate it from your vocabulary. My brother brought that up to me not too long ago, and he said, that's kind of a weak word. You should try to not use it in your vocabulary. So I would say to you, I would say to you, avoid using the word try in your vocabulary. Do or don't. You're getting better or you're getting worse. The next thing I want to talk about, and this is the adapt and evolve part of the namesake of this video, but also it's such an important concept and something that I've dealt with in my life. And people on the sidelines, the people we talk about on the sidelines, it's so easy for them to stand on the sidelines and point to you. But it's this idea of setting goals, setting and pursuing goals, but then also having the wherewithal, the self-awareness to know, hey, maybe it's time to transition from this initial goal because things just aren't going the way that I envisioned them to go. And the author says, one of the hardest things to do is to change course once you've set your goals. You made a decision, you worked for it, you earned the payoff, but for whatever reason, it's not going the way you planned. It's not weak to recognize when it's time to shift directions. A lot of people in maybe in the business world or in the entrepreneurial world will use the term pivot. When you're going from one thing and decide, hey, this isn't working out the way I thought it was, I got to pivot to another thing. For me in my personal life or my professional life, I would love to be a UFC champion. That was my goal. I'll actually bring you up through the ranks. My goal was to be a PIAA state wrestling champion. Didn't happen. Couldn't do anything about it. I had to reassess my goals. All right, what am I going to do next? Okay, I'll become an All-American. I fell short of that goal. I had to reassess my goals, pivot, change direction, move on to the next goal. What was that next goal? I want to secure a teaching position and a wrestling coach position. I did it. I got there, realized, I'm not extremely happy right now. What can I do? I want to get to the UFC. Finally, I achieved that goal. I got there. Did not work out how I wanted it to, but you have a choice. You quit or you reassess your goals. You keep that core foundation that we've been talking about through this whole book, that core foundation, your gut, and you focus and you redirect to something else. What I'm redirecting now is sharing my knowledge, sharing my experiences with you. That's where the passion, that's where the drive, that's where the motivation is that I used to put literally on the wrestling mat or in the cage or in the gym. It's now focused here. It's why I get up at 4:30 in the morning to read and to make these videos. I'm not a failure. If I'm a failure in your eyes, sorry, can't do anything for you. I'm not a failure in my eyes, and that's what matters, how you view yourself. So don't be afraid to set and pursue those goals with every single ounce of being you have. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Reassess yourself, feel bad about yourself for a small period of time, pivot, gung-ho in the next position. The author, that he goes on to talk about failure in his own life, in his own experiences, and he says, today I teach the best of the best to take care of their bodies, because when I hit initial roadblocks, I refuse to see my situation as a failure. You take what everyone else sees as a negative and turn it to your advantage. You don't sulk. You don't curl up and die. You glare at it and think, if it's not going to happen this way, it's sure as heck going to happen that way. So this author had visions of grandeur of being in the NBA, being the cleaner, being the best of the best. But because of his initial setbacks, he wasn't able to make it happen. So he had a decision. Okay, what's the next best plan? Adapt and evolve. He pursued it, got to be the best in the world at what he does, which is training professional athletes, training professional basketball players. And he says, to me, success, and this is my aim is to bridge the gap between average and extraordinary, to share with you, to expose you to the ideas, the strategies, the philosophies that can take you from good to great, from average and ordinary to stinking amazing. And I don't expect everyone to be a professional athlete or anything professional, but it's about the way you live your life. Excellence is a habit, right? The things you do, that is excellence. He goes on to say, so I'm not saying you should agree with everything that I'm reading or what the author says, but I at least want to open your mind to it. And the author says, to me, success isn't about how much money I can make. It's never been about that. Success is about doing things that no one else can do. Success is about doing things that no one else can do. And maybe I agree with that. Maybe that's why I get up at 4:30 in the morning, because no one else does it. And I like to say, can I do that? So as you go through your day, accept those little challenges. Challenge yourself. Win, lose, grow. Don't run from that. Don't run from the fear of that challenge. Yes, I train a guy, and he's lost a bunch of weight. He's lost almost 80 pounds. And yesterday, we had a serious conversation, and it was uncomfortable, and it was probably something that 99.9% of people wouldn't want to do. But if you want the results that you want, then you got to face the facts. You've got to embrace those challenges. And the last thing I want to touch on here, the author says, in these cases, he's talking about how his relationship with his athletes and how he interacts with his athletes. He says they normally come to him with a problem, so he gives them choices and paths to pursue. They make the decision, and then they pursue that particular path. He says, in these cases, I offer choices, and the athletes have to decide what they want to do. This is the important part. You can be good by playing it safe. You can't be relentless until you're willing to take chances. Safe makes you good. Chances make you great. Safe makes you good. Chances make you great. And I will add a caveat to that. Playing it safe, yeah, you'll be good, you'll be very good, you'll be very comfortable. I'm not saying that's wrong at all. I'm saying that's not my MO. That's not my being. Chances make you great. I'm also not saying that you should be the guy or the girl who just says, yeah, I'm going to go blind and I'm going to go pursue Hollywood. No, I believe in making a plan. I believe in building the infrastructure within yourself, earning the right to trust your gut, not just running off into the sunset with your fingers crossed, hoping it's going to work out. So if you want to be good, be good. Great. High fives. Awesome. But if you want to be great, you're going to have to take chances. And my personal opinion, take those chances only after you've built an infrastructure to increase the odds of those chances leaning in your favor, or those chances coming true, because there's never a guarantee. There's no guarantees, but at night, win or lose, you'll put your head peacefully down, knowing, as John Wooden says, you did your best to become the best you did your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming. And that is from John Wooden, the greatest basketball coach of all time. And I'll leave you with this. A cleaner, and again, a cleaner is the best of the best of the best. A cleaner knows when to walk away and which direction to walk. Never running, always walking. He leaves smoothly and on his own terms. He can lose a battle because he's still planning to win the war. Never say never, never die, never quit attitude, a fighter's mindset, get up and keep going and going and going. Yesterday, the title of the video, AM Excellence 54, was Failure is a Mindset, So is Excellence. Thank you for tuning in. It's now 5:42. I appreciate you tuning in every day. Tomorrow I'm going to go at 6 a.m. I'm going to push this back a little bit more. I realize I get up early, but not the whole world gets up early. So tomorrow will be at 6 a.m. And also tomorrow, which is Thursday, we'll be releasing the first interview episode of A Fighter's Mindset, the Spaniard podcast. It is a huge guest, a world champion athlete, and a world-class person. So I would highly recommend going to charlie-brenneman.com/podcast, catching up on the old episodes so you can be ready for tomorrow's episode. Have yourselves a great day. Carpe diem. Fight well.